Do I know what this book is about? Not entirely. Not entirely. I know that it's gay, and I know that it's a fantasy, so immediately I'm interested. Greetings and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I want to read in October. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It is officially spooky season, which is the best season for reading, for fall activities, for makeup. Guys, I love the fall time. I can't even express to you. And I have a ridiculous amount of books on my fall TBR because there are actually a lot of good releases in October. I don't know how much we're gonna get to though, because you guys know I am a mood reader, so it really just depends whatever I'm feeling in that moment. But yeah, the season is definitely influencing my TBR. I actually just posted a video where I read a Halloween or fall themed novella every single day for a month. So 30 different novellas in one video, and it was so much fun. Very long video. It's almost like 2 hours long. But if you're looking for any like fall Halloween themed novellas to pick up, I will link that video down below. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're bringing back the Novellathon spooky edition. So a little announcement here. The Novellathon is a readathon that I host with my sweet friends Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages, Avery from Ava's Romance Books, and Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. We have officially been doing this readathon for a year, which is so much fun. Y'all love novellas so much, and we do this readathon themed around different holidays. So we're going to be doing it for Halloween from October 14th to October 20th. We will be reading a bunch of novellas with you guys. We will have reading sprints and live shows and different fun prompts if you want to join us. All of the information is over on our Instagrams. I have a highlight saved with all of the cute graphics that Tiffany ended up making. So yeah, if you would like to join us, we'd love to have you. We do have a buddy pick. It is Boo Thang by Risley Adams. This is a short Halloween novella. Risley Adams is one of my favorite novella authors of all time. I have read most of her backlist and have thoroughly enjoyed almost everything I've read by her. I've already read this one and I gave it 5 stars. I loved it so much that I really wanted it to be our buddy pick so everyone else could read it. This one is a best friend's brother trope with a little bit of an age gap. Our hero has been hopelessly in love with his older sister's best friend for as long as he could remember, but he's definitely been in the friend zone, seen as the annoying little brother until his 30th birthday. He is grown and he's sexy, and him and our heroine end up sharing a very steamy kiss with one another. Once that happens, they cannot keep their hands off of each other. There's like a chemistry that has been unleashed, if you will. Our heroine is a Halloween baby and she is celebrating her birthday in Mexico with her best friend. However, her best friend cannot make the vacation because of some last minute complications. So guess who decides to join her? Guess who decides to join her? Her best friend's younger brother, and the two of them have a very steamy time. This one was fun, it was sexy, but it was also very romantic, and I just loved our hero in this book so much. He was so sexy. So yeah, I am very excited for this buddy pick. I gave it 5 stars and I have a feeling that a lot of you guys will like it too. So of course that's on the October TBR because we will have a live show for it. Okay, so we got all of the announcements out of the way. So let's go ahead and hop into the other books that I want to read, especially some new releases. The number one book I definitely want to get to this month is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Guys, look how adorable this cover is. I ended up getting this arc at a book signing that I went to recently. However, I had different like book club picks I had to read and different things that were pushing it lower on my TBR. But this is the month. This is the time. I was instantly sold on this book because it was marketed as being a mashup of The Nightmare Before Christmas and Red, White, and Royal Blue, which are two things that I absolutely love. Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favorite Halloween movies. It is an absolute classic. I rewatch it with my family every single year. We've already rewatched it twice this year. The synopsis describes it as a sexy, quirky rom-com and a fake competition between two holiday princes over a marriage and convenience that no one wants. I'm sold. Love it. It's a male-male spooky ooky romance. I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. Cannot wait to read this. I might even read it for like a reading vlog, maybe like a Halloween reading vlog. we will see. Another book that I really want to get to, and it releases in October, is The Marriage Hex by Sarah Blue. Sarah Blue is another author that I am very familiar with. I've read the majority of her backlist. Her range is crazy because she writes contemporary romances, paranormal romances, Omegaverse romances, poly romances. Like, she really does write a little bit of everything, and I tend to just enjoy her books overall, so I'm very excited to get to this one. The Marriage Hex releases on October 11th, and it is a romance between a witch and a werewolf, and has a really fun marriage of convenience trope. So our two characters were best friends when they were younger, and they made one of those pacts. I don't know if you guys like ever made one of these pacts, but they made one of those pacts where, like, if we're not married by this time at this age, we're just gonna marry each other. Well, they did that, and then they went on and lived their life. They're no longer friends. What our heroine doesn't realize is that when she made that pact with her friend, she actually magically bound them together because she's a witch. Hero is the alpha of his werewolf pact, and the last thing he wants to do is to be forced into this arranged marriage, but they definitely need to figure out what to do. Also, this cover is so cute to me, and I don't know why, but it gives me like X-Men fanfic vibes. The hair, tell me that this heroine does not look like, what is her name? Rogue from the X-Men? If this was Rogue in a Wolverine fanfic. That's what the cover gives. This is definitely not fanfic, and I don't know if I'm the only one who sees that with this cover, but it makes me even more excited. Another one that I have seen all over my For You page and on Instagram is A Vile Season by David Ferraro. I hope I pronounced that author's name correctly. There's something about this cover that I think is so stunning. Synopsis immediately sucked me in because it was described as Bridgerton meeting The Bachelor, which are like two of my favorite shows. I don't really watch the Bachelor franchise anymore because besides Joey's season, it's just been weird these past couple seasons, but I love the concept. This is a YA novel, and to be honest, I don't mind reading young adult novels. I actually find it kind of healing because if I had this type of queer representation when I was younger, I feel like my coming out journey would have been very, very different. So I do like reading it from time to time. Obviously, this is a male-male romance. Our main hero, Lucian, ends up giving his vampire powers to enter into a competition to romance a duke. Premise sounds really fun. The cover is really cute, and I cannot wait to get to this one. And it does release this month on October 22nd. Another new male-male romantasy that I have my eye on is called Sword Cross by Freya Marsk. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that author's name correctly. Once again, sucked in by the cover. Okay, and I definitely judge a book by its cover. I do. I'm easily influenced to pick up something if the cover is pretty. Like, judge me. I don't know what to say. Do I know what this book is about? Not entirely. Not entirely. I know that it's gay, and I know that it's a fantasy, so immediately I'm interested. Looking at the synopsis on Goodreads, it looks like our main hero, Maddie, is being set up in an arranged marriage by his family. There's a tradition that the groom can be challenged for a duel on the wedding. He has to hire a swordsman to be his best man, but also to give him some fighting lessons. And he ends up having a romance with his sword fighting instructor. I'm into it. A lot of people are describing this as cozy and romantic, just a fun romantasy, and it comes out October 8th. Another queer fantasy that is catching my attention is Till the Last Beat of My Heart, and this is another male-male YA romance. This is described as a contemporary fantasy. Our hero Jackson is the son of a mortician, and he ends up reanimating. Am I saying that correctly? He ends up bringing back to life the boy that he had a crush on in high school. Christian was one of our hero's best friends and one of his first crushes, and he unfortunately dies in a car accident, but somehow our hero Jackson is able to bring him back to life, and it follows their romance. Again, synopsis sounds interesting. The cover is gorgeous and it's gay. Sign me up. Sign me the fuck up. And I think this is a new release as well. It comes out, oh no, it came out last month in September. So a new-ish release. Of course, we have the spooky ooky books for Halloween, but we are also starting to get some Christmas releases, and there are a couple that I'm very excited about. I have two sapphic romances that are catching my attention. First one I really want to read is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. I believe I have read some books by this author before and have enjoyed them, and it's like a sapphic Christmas book, so of course I want to read it. So this one is a second chance romance with a forced proximity trope. Our heroine Charlotte was left at the altar by her ex-fiance a couple years ago. She's just trying to put all the pieces back together in her life. She is a professional musician. I think she's a violinist. One of the people in her ensemble ends up inviting her to spend Christmas at her home. When she gets there, she realizes that they also invited a couple of other people, one of those people being her ex-fiance. So it does have a little bit of a forced proximity trope. They end up having to spend the holiday together, and it resurfaces all of their old feelings. Very excited for this one. Second chance romance is one of my favorite tropes, and it's sapphic, so what's not to love? Although I was looking on Goodreads and it looks like Christy gave it 2.5 stars, which is not promising. Not promising at all. Not to throw Christy under the bus or anything, but I religiously read her Goodreads reviews. I think her taste in books is absolutely impeccable. Very similar taste in books as well. So if she gives something 5 stars, I will typically give it 5 stars. And if she gives something 2 stars, I will also typically give it 2 stars. So now I'm hesitant, but this cover is also gorgeous, so I'll probably read it anyways. To follow Christy on Goodreads though, because she's quite literally doing the Lord's work, okay? Her Goodreads reviews are unmatched. They're always super detailed, and she reads a ton of books, so follow her. Another sapphic romance that I am really interested in is I'll Be Gone for Christmas by Georgia K. Boone. Now, again, I was drawn in by the cover, but what's interesting is the 2 heroines in this cover are not the ones in a romance. So this book follows our characters Bee and Clover, and the 2 of them are in a place in their lives where they are looking for something different. They end up going on an app that allows them to house swap. Our heroine Clover ends up going to Bee's house in San Francisco to spend the holidays there as she is grieving the loss of her mother. Then our heroine Bee ends up going to Clover's house in Salem, which is a cute cottage in a town that is absolutely obsessed with Christmas. House swap kind of fits both of our characters' needs, and you end up following both of them during the holidays. Again, it follows like their separate stories and romances, which very much gives like the holiday vibe. Clover ends up having a romance with Bee's sister Beth, and then Bee ends up having a romance with Clover's ex-fiance. Lots of people, lots of moving parts. It sounds really interesting, kind of like a rom-com. I definitely want to read it, and I believe it comes out in October. Yeah, October 8th. Lots of books are coming out on October 8th. If we have time, or if I have time, I definitely want to get to this fantasy that has been on my TBR for quite a while, and that is 5 Broken Blades by May Corland. This was another cover buy because I saw these sprayed edges on a book trip with my friends, and I wanted it for my shelves. I know, I'm the worst. This fantasy book I know really nothing about other than it has very mixed reviews. Like, some people absolutely love it, and then some people think it's like the worst thing ever. So we will see how I feel if I have time. But like, come on, how gorgeous is this book? Like, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. I love how this is a TBR video and I don't actually know what any of these books are about. That is my very loose October TBR. I have so many more books that I want to get to and new October romance releases that sound really interesting. So many amazing releases happening this month. So as a mood reader, I'm probably just going to pick whatever sounds interesting at the time, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, those are just a handful of books that have caught my attention. Let me know what is on your October TBR. And if you have stayed this long in the video, leave me an emoji. What should you leave me? What should you leave me? Leave me a pumpkin emoji because it is spooky ooky season. We're in October. I definitely want to go to a pumpkin patch and carve some pumpkins and eat pumpkin pie. So leave me a pumpkin emoji in the comments down below if you stayed this long and you enjoyed this video, so I know that we're bookish besties. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!